Hello everyone, thanks for clicking to watch this video. Basically, after years of watching videos and reviews by Sam's Trains and IC82, i.e. Will, I figured I'd give it a crack as well, because most review videos are based in the UK, I notice. So I thought, why not for a change try on this side of the globe, i.e. the southern, I think it's Pacific. I don't know, because Australia is right across from the Tasman, so that should give an easy answer to what country I'm in. Not exactly the smoothest of starts, but here's the loco that started it all for me. Peppercorn A1 Pacific. Specifically, WP Allen by Bachmann. Now, this is not the loco that started it all, but a while back, I sold it not long after getting the second one. But they both run smooth, 5-pole motors, so yeah. And I figured, well, why not also tie in the A1 with an A2? You can instantly tell by the difference of packaging, the different years these were made in. The older style, which most people find on the internet, secondhand sites like eBay, Amazon, or in New Zealand, Trade Me. And here's the more modern style. The old, I think it's called ice cube packing. Not entirely sure, but hey, what do you know? But to me, both locomotives mean a lot to me. Something special. Okay, I know you all will probably know how to open these boxes by now, but it's easy to do things with both hands, and my camera setup is not exactly smart, we should say. But yeah, just get these out of the packaging on the rails and we'll have a proper look at them. Okay, while I was taking the A2 out, A1's still in this box, you can see in the corner. I remembered something about these packagings Bachmann do, when they do the ice cube, that Hornby kind of don't do really. And that's because with Bachmann locos, the tender is linked to the loco. While as Hornby, sure, the hard wire linked with a wire, but, you know, get that. Pause and read that if you like, but yeah. When I first got this, the loco was in the packaging like that. I thought that sticker was an age restriction thing at the time. And yep, I broke the tender link. Whoops. But since then, get that back in the shop. But since then I learnt my lesson after fixing the tender link twice in its ownership. But yeah, bit of a dog's job to do, because bit camera shy, but oh well. Thank goodness for a re-railer, otherwise I might be stuffed. And for those who don't know, stuffed, well, it's not exactly a bad term of phrase, but it means I would be really in trouble if I didn't have one of them. Alright, carefully. Sorry about the lighting, but it's currently around winter time here in New Zealand, and it's not exactly the warmest of conditions, nor the brightest. I get derailed on the way down. There we go. I figure with locos with great pickups, or tender pickups or stuff like that, I like to get them about as partly down the ramp, then let them run down on their own power. Just put that there for the A1. Okay, both locos are now sort of on the track. The A1's on the ramp. but I figure while I take this time to pretty much show some of the detail of the locos in that, just get it out of the jig. There we go. Both have very reasonable fake coal loads. This one though, darn it, use a cocktail stick to pry it out because it is a snug fit when it's really in there. Alright, there we go. This one, this tender to be exact, is from my original A1. As you can see, there is a coal load in there. And because of that, I had to trim the pegs of the freight load down a fair bit. But it's alright. It also explains why the paint of the tender looks a bit different compared to the loco. Secondhand stuff, you never know sometimes. As both of them are very nice. Got a look, safety valve. Dang thing takes too long to focus. Safety valves. Quite nice cabs if you can light them up. You know, when you can light up the inside, because I couldn't exactly do a standing one because then I'd have to put the camera back in the jig, and by camera I mean my phone. So if you can bear with me with the difficulty, but yeah, you can kind of see the details. Hang on, put the camera back in the jig. Okay, camera's back in the jig now. I can try and show the, you know, if I'm not too bad in the shot. But yeah, here's the tender. Oh, got to get in shot. There we go. Very nice by Bachmann, very nice. Sprung buffers, them coupler, water scoop, brake rigging. Well, just along there. You don't get much there, but that bit, I think it was either on this one or the other one that broke and I had to fix it. Can't really remember, but they're both running tenders. Whoops. It was a bit loose in the jig. Budgets. Always, if you're not a filmmaker, try and make a decent jig to hold your camera or phone or whatever, because at times like this, it's pretty shoddy. Alright, here's the loco. Here we go. WP Allen. And as you see, I fitted the drain cocks from the detail pack. Front coupler as well. Wait. Focus! Focus, you dodgy camera. Thank you. Jeez. $1,500 on a phone. That's New Zealand dollar for the record. And yeah, nice front there. Sprung buffer and them couple. Beautiful detail underneath. In the cab, yeah, not much going on in there. Some painted detail would be nice, but yeah. Alright, put that back together real quick before putting it on the layout. If you're wondering what's with the two holes in the drawbar, that's so you can have a close coupler if you have modest curves, or a very long distance coupler if, like my layout, you only have sort of track set curves. And it's out of focus again. Gosh darn it. Okay, I just switched autofocus on, like I should have, but I didn't. And see if I can get the A2 apart here without breaking the tender link. Here we go. A nice peppercorn tender in actually LNER green with British Railways written on the side. While that is Doncaster green, which is why you can see a slight change in the colour on the locos. And I don't know how IC82 used to do this, being behind a camera. It's tricky. Well, you got a lot of respect from me, mate. But yeah, also fake coal load, completely removable. No fake coal in there this time. Sorry. Actually, weird thing is though, my original A1, I bought that from a model show about 5 years ago. Ooh, nice detail on the back too. And now couplers in it. And yeah, if you look carefully, you can also see where there was a heavy dose of glue here for the tender link. That is sadly where it broke. And I was pretty much spending the next hour swearing while fixing it. Which is not good because I got neighbors both ends that would have probably heard me. I apologize. But here we go. Here's the locomotive, and sadly the cylinder drain cock pipes kind of broke not long after I fitted them. But here we go, Tudor Minstrel, or however you pronounce it. Beautiful lining. Beautiful lining. And there's her number. And after doing a little research, I figured out she is the 4th Peppercorn A2 ever built. So technically she is an L&R loco. Unlike W.P. Allen, which was, though the first of her class, she was technically built for British Railways, not the L&R. And bugger, I should have got it off the re-railer when I had the chance. First review is always the hardest. I should have asked Sam's Trends or IC82 for pointers, or anyone who actually does these. But here we go. Just slide her on a bit and make sure the direction's going well. Give her a nudge. There we go. As for the locos in the background, don't worry, we'll get to them sometime in the future. Hopefully if this video goes well. Because I know the layout is a mess, but yeah, it will work out over time, hopefully. And hopefully I do end up doing a series where you see the layout evolve, develop, turn into something nice, you know? Alright, we'll just back up W.P. Allen here. Beautiful. And bring Tudor, or however you pronounce it, forward. Now, it's easy to tell which loco is the biggest. The A1 actually, because I actually have had them side by side before, and I do that now. Use a paintbrush as my level. Okay, that was weirdly hard to... Oh, had a bit of power on the control still. Whoops. But yeah, as you can see, the buffers at the tenders completely level with each other. Cabs are about level as well. But when you look at the smoke box, there's like a whole buffer beam difference between the two. Wow. But anyways, the A1s, that's this one, if you have just joined in, they were used for express work along the East Coast. They were quite reliable, and back in 2009, former Top Gear presenter and current Grand Tour presenter, Jeremy Clarkson, pretty much did a firing shift on the new build Tornado of one of these. And although I have to admit, it's amazing that new builds are going, because apparently there is another new build based on an LMS Patriot that is meant to be, well, completed this year. Well, at least that's what the forums say anyway. Don't hear much from the UK stuff, model railway loot that much when you're this far around the globe. But anyways, the A2s, a fair number of these ran the Edinburgh Aberdeen service, which were originally ran by Grizzly's P2s, then taken over by Thompson Pacific locomotives, which were quite underpowered, but could fit the curvature. The P2s, more than enough power, but they had tightness issues around the curves. These are nice, well, compared to the A1, short base Pacific, plenty of grip, and if you do a front side-by-side view from cab to cab, you'll notice that the A2 wheels are smaller. And simple railway logic, smaller wheels, better grip. Well, pretty much you sacrifice a bit of speed, but Blue Peter, I've seen videos of her running, and she is beautiful. Another thing, if you notice about the A2 is, this dopey thing won't work, is that the wheels, unlike the A1s, these ones are nicely lined. They still got the red lining, no doubt about that. Still lovely green paint, no doubt about that either. But the wheels, these ones are lined, those ones ain't. Why? But yeah, I'll get back to you in a second. Just going to set up a train for these two in a minute. Okay, and I don't know if you can see in the background, but all of a sudden there's new coaches. Well, I wouldn't exactly say new. These are Hornby Railroad A1 Antiques. Currently a brake coach, so which means I'm done setting up the rake. I got about, I think that's a 9 coaches set up. See how the A1 does once I get in the right direction. Yep, perfect link. Still in the camera view, so sweet. And I should point out that the layout Upwell and onwards I have here is an 8x4. And I know that New Zealand's metric, but for ease of sake for measurement of this layout, I went with the old imperial standard of feet and inches. Just makes it that much easier for some reason. Don't know why. When it comes to detail stuff, millimeters, metric. Big things like this, the old imperial. It's nuts, ain't it? But anyways, 9 coaches, bit stupid for a layout like this, but got to see how it performs. Whoop, bit of a slip. Thing about long trains is, on tight curves, it really does them no good at all. It's pretty much their Achilles heel. I got my HM2000 controller, very good controller, beautiful things. Got it set at about halfway, and look at that. Not a problem at all. Bit of a slip on the start, but apart from that, she's hauling like a trooper. Beautiful, just beautiful. Okay, now it's time for the A2 to have a go. First of all, got to uncouple the A1 here, which is easier said than done because of a couple of difference. Whoever says Hornby and Bachmann top couplers don't work is kind of right, depending on what type of couplers they are. But just move the train out of the way a bit, loco forward. And I can just use a handy tool by Pico to work some magic. Now, normally I would not try, advertising brands or something for their products, because, well, that might seem a bit petty, but when it comes to moving locos, if they're highly detailed or something like that, these loco lifts are your best friend. They make the job so easy. If you get one secondhand, for the love of God, please clean it. Because, well, annoyingly, these are annoying to clean. About as annoying as a long tunnel. They're very annoying to clean because the rails are embedded, and you get the, just get the loco onto the other track here first. There we go. And for some reason it decided to act up. Oi, get moving. Glitches in the system. But yeah. As you can see, foam sides to protect the detail. This one's had a few knocks. Thank you to my cat. This side is actually real good. But yeah, there you can see the rail, and it's embedded into the track, kind of like a bridge design. And it's not exactly rail, it's more like bent strips, because there's the underside that contacts and links to the rail to make it a nice smooth transition. I really like those. I really like them, because just grabbed this freeway point I got lying around. Heaven knows why. But yeah. Just, yeah, slots in. It's beautiful. It's a perfect set. Pico, you've done it again. And for those of you watching from New Zealand and Australia, I hope to the Lord you get that McCain pun right there. Okay, bring the A2 to us. A little thing I did with my upwell and onwards design is I added a nice bit of storage track / loop here, because it makes changing locos a lot easier, saves me a lot of time. But it's the power working that's kind of a pain in the backside. But I would like to show the slow running performance of each loco. But slow running over sort of dodgy points is not exactly ideal, because it's kind of a double-edged sword I got kind of here. Good track, good locos. Well, not the points, so some of them are bad. But, and a real good controller, HM2000 with two of the slave units here. And yet, I have hiccups on the way with my design. Funny that. But yeah. Just show the loco crawl to its train. If you can't hear it, there is a little motor noise, but I think it's because I haven't ran the loco in a fair bit. Because I think I've currently got a roster of about 20, maybe 21 to 22 locos, and maybe just over 50 coaches, which is quite a lot. I'm sure IC82 and Sam's Trains can easily double that, or even triple it, or even octuple. I've seen what Sam's Trainer says in his background when he does his videos. Holy smokes. But yeah. Oh yeah, for those of you who are wondering, W.P. Allen, that sounds so familiar. The loco was also a star in its own YouTube series called The British Railway Stories, I believe. It's very good. It's done with a mix of Hornby and Pico models, and it's based on the lives of locos at Copley Hill Sheds. I think the creator, who actually is very skilled, because he might bring back the series, he's already got audiobooks and stuff like that done. Because his main characters three of them at the beginning were an A1 W.P. Allen, an A4 Sir Ralph Wedgwood, and a Holden B12, which is actually commendable because not many people like the older designs these days. They all go for the big express locomotives and stuff like that. But that's what I originally thought years ago. Oh man, that is beautifully smooth, that. Not a sign of a slip. And she just hauls it away, that half speed. That's beautiful. But yeah. I will throw a couple of links, if this is YouTube and not the Facebook one of YouTube, form of the YouTube lot, such as SDJR7F77. I hope I got that right, because with all the YouTubers there, it's hard to tell who's who at times, and it can be a right pickle to remember sometimes. But yeah, as a first review, and it being a double up, hopefully I can keep doing this sort of trend, because to me both of these locos are highly exceptional. I ran them at shows, I have ran them full speed with about maybe 20 coach trains, and that's naturally double heading. I would never, unless it was dead on the flat, nice big open curves, I would never ever run one loco behind a 20 coach train, because even on rail tours today, especially on something hilly like the Western region, well, former Western region and the old LMS turf, 11 was a heavy for a king class locomotive, and they were the most powerful 460s in the UK. I'm actually scratching my knowledge here, crikey. But also on the old LMS turf, I think duchesses and princesses could run up to maybe 14, 16 coaches. That is well around 500 tons on the drawbar easily. Longest trains I've ever seen videos of on the old East Coast Main or the old LNR turf would have been behind an A4 hauling 15 through Doncaster. Funny things you see on DVDs these days, but yeah. I concluded that both these locomotives here, I'll just run this one around again to bring it in the shot. Switch the point for the A1, which doesn't want to come out to play, maybe because I didn't turn the control on. Whoops, yeah, bit too forward. Sam's train has the same problem sometimes. The loco is not quite in shot, and he has to move it again either by hand or the controller. It's not easy at times, but yeah. There we go. What I figure is Peppercorn's greatest achievements, and thankfully to those people who built Tornado, the A1 Trust, we have examples of both Peppercorn Pacifics, and in the near future, hopefully, we'll have an example of an LMS Patriot and a Grizzly P2. The P2 group, I think they've got the boiler. I don't know. I haven't checked any news about it lately. But if they do, they would basically have the most powerful passenger locomotive in the UK. Figuratively, I should point out before I get any nasty comments. But sure, a 9F is powerful, but a P2 The traction effort of one of those could outhaul a 9F. What was I thinking P2 for a reason? Which is kind of funny because the P1 was a heavy freight locomotive. The P2, express. It's funny how some designers are, but Gresley, Peppercorn, Fowler, Stanier, Collett, Churchwood, Hawksworth, and Ivet, all great in their own rights. I have nothing against them. Thompson, maybe, but we'll leave that to a different story. So, thank you for watching this double review of both these Peppercorn Pacifics. I really hope you enjoyed it. It was not exactly easy making it without a script or something like that, when I've had the time to make one anyways. But, yeah. Just these locomotives alone, it was a real joy. Thank you for watching. Please like and send a comment if you like. And the camera's acting up again. Well, there's your blooper at the end if you wanted one.